Live on tape from Peninsula Television Studios, high above beautiful downtown San Carlos, Pacific Bell presents Peninsula Quiz Kids. And now, the host of our show, Brad Friedman.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome to Peninsula Quiz Kids, the show where speed, knowledge, and collaboration are the tools these players need for the chance to win great prizes. We're in the second game of our semifinals. If you were with us last time, you saw San Mateo beat Hillsdale by a sudden death question. It was very exciting. We've got two wonderful teams here who I know are going to provide an exciting match for us today. So let's go ahead and meet them first. The Carlmont High School Scots. I hope you had a chance to see the Scots last time they played because they were a vision. The phones were ringing. A lot of schools want to change their dress codes because of the three of you guys. You were decked out in tuxes, and I know it was because of the prom that you had to go rushing to. So tell me, Robert Maidia, our captain, how was the prom?
It was enjoyable. I had fun. I think everybody else on the panel did as well.
Sounds very exciting. Of course, I have to ask the question that's always foremost on my mind about proms. What did you eat for dinner?
I had spinach something, and it was good.
And that, too, is an inspiration to children all over the world. Good for you. All right. Here is your teammate, Anton Dolinsky, history and war buff. Welcome, Anton. You know, I don't know if I've ever had a chance to ask history buffs this, because I always think that in some way they long to live in the past. If you could live in some past era, which era would that be and why?
Well, I think I'd like to live in the 300s and 400s AD, during the collapse of the Roman Empire.
And the reason for that is?
Well, the rise of Christianity combined with the decline of the Roman Empire provided lots of opportunities for spiritual and, well, advancement, basically.
Okay.
It was a very exciting time because you couldn't predict what was going to happen next.
You would not be bored.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, and you don't want to be, okay. And of course, history is never boring. Your final teammate here is Hassan Lunsford. Hassan, you're going to be graduating this fall, this summer? Or?
Yep.
And I understand you have he said to me beforehand, he has a penchant for the airline industry. And we could talk about your use of the word penchant, which is very wonderful to me. But anyway, what do you want to do in the airline industry?
I probably would like to be involved with marketing for an airline or something like that because, in my opinion, the airline industry is one of the only industries that's like a soap opera because there's never a dull moment and one airline's always buying out the other, cutting the other people's sale prices down, whatever.
And I'm sure the airlines are watching and paying very close attention to this.
Yes, they are.
Good luck to you there, Hassan. Let's all give a big hand to your coach, Patricia Braunstein. Well, the Scots are manly men, hearty men, but can they beat the Menlo Atherton Bears? Our captain, Lindsay Teppin. Well, bears are a pretty savage breed, but I guess they have to be very intelligent, too. I understand you've probably just finishing up your AP exams. How'd they go?
It was a rough week. I actually had 5 exams in 1 week, so.
That's one a day?
A little bit exhausting. Actually, 2 on Wednesday and none on Tuesday.
2 on Wednesday? Well, come on, you got a break on Tuesday to bone up on both subjects. What did you take Wednesday?
Wednesday I had English and statistics, so.
English and statistics. Well, hey.
It's a long day.
Congratulations to you for 5 APs. And here is Daniel Barkley, our freshman. And possibly our only freshman, certainly our only freshman to make it to the semifinals. Last week, Daniel, you had sort of a personal stake because a boy on the opposing team was a member of your scout troop, right? Now, you're an Eagle Scout, and I hear you just completed your project. What did you do?
Yeah, I moved 20,000 books from the building of my old elementary school to a different building.
That must have taken hours.
Well, fortunately, I managed to talk other people to help.
And a good Eagle Scout is a good leader, right?
Right.
Well,
and
congratulations.
he manages to get away with not doing much of the work himself.
We're going to stop here before the Scouts call me, but congratulations, Daniel. And here is Jonathan Soon. Jonathan, I don't know, you may be the only contestant we've had who has had the opportunity to be part of this process, not only as a team member, but also as a member of the audience. I wondered which role do you prefer the most?
Well, actually being in the audience, you get to see those neat little graphics, but up here you got the little buzzers. So I don't know, there are advantages to both. I like pushing buttons, but I also like looking at those graphics.
Oh, hey, well, just imagine they're there and try to focus on that buzzer during our first round, okay? Let's give a big hand to your coach, Bob Hasbrook. Now, before we start, I do have to introduce a very important gentleman because his word is law here. And as we get into the semifinals, it's going to be very important for you all to remember that when I turn to the judge and ask for a question, his response is final. So let's give a big hand to the man with all the responsibility, Mr. Frank Saboti. You all ready to play? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with the lightning round. We have to applaud those wonderful graphics that Jonathan has enjoyed so much. So always remember that. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, so put your hands on your buzzers. Each question is worth 10 points, and the first person to buzz in gets the first chance to answer. Answer correctly, and you win 10 points for your team. But if you make a mistake, the other team gets a chance to collaborate and possibly steal those points. Everyone understand? Good luck to both teams. Here we go. To which planet did NASA send the Pathfinder? Yes, Daniel.
Mars.
Mars is correct for 10 points. A square measures 5 feet by 5 feet. If the midpoints of the sides of the square are connected to form another square, what will the area of that square be? Yes, Hassan.
2.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Let me repeat this. A square measures 5 feet by 5 feet. If the midpoints of the sides of the square are connected to form another square, what will the area of that square be? Menlo, Atherton, you can collaborate.
Isn't it 25 divided by 4? Per square? I think it's divided by 2. It's 25 divided by 4.
Lindsay, may I have your answer?
7 1/4.
No, I'm sorry, it's 12.5 square feet. We'll keep going. Was composer Franz Haydn a contemporary of Stravinsky, Beethoven, or Bach? Yes, Daniel.
Bach.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You can take this one if you can tell me the answer. Was composer Franz Haydn a contemporary of Stravinsky or Beethoven?
Beethoven.
That is correct for 10 points. All right, and right now our score is 10-10. We'll keep going. Jackie Robinson won the Rookie of the Year in 1947. Which team did he play for that year? Yes, Jonathan.
Dodgers.
All right, the Brooklyn Dodgers is correct. Thank you. You can give him a hand. Give the formula for the Pythagorean yes, Daniel.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
That is correct for 10 points. What was the common nationality of the authors Ovid, Horace, and yes, Daniel?
They were Romans.
They were Romans. Who wrote Nicholas Nickleby? Yes, Daniel.
Charles Dickens.
That is correct. One of my favorite books. Shannon Faulkner briefly attended which military college? Yes, Robert.
The Citadel.
The Citadel is right for 10 points. All right, and the score is Carlmont 20, Menlo Atherton 50. A Shakespearean sonnet contains how? Yes, Daniel.
14.
14 is right for 10 points. Christine Todd Whitman serves as governor of what's? Yes, Daniel.
New Jersey.
New Jersey is right. Just gonna work my mouth here. In cryogenics, by what process is the body preserved? Yes, Anton.
It's frozen.
It's frozen is right for 10 points. Who discovered the principle of flotation? Yes, Anton.
I'm gonna make a wild guess. Archimedes?
Say it.
Archimedes?
That is absolutely correct for 10 points. Which means I didn't have to pronounce it an extra 1,000 points. No. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario plays which professional sport? I did say that one right. It's tennis. Here we go. Name the smallest prime number. Yes, Lindsay?
2.
2 is correct for 10 points. is a piece of didactic literature characterized as a comedy, a tragedy, or as instruction? Yes, Anton.
It's instruction.
It is instruction. Let's look at the score. We are Carlmont 50, Menlo Atherton 80, and we keep moving on. What year did the Cuban Missile Crisis take? Yes, Daniel.
1962.
That is correct for 10. Which glands in the skin of mammals secrete an oily substance known as sebum? Yes, Anton.
The sebaceous.
The sebaceous is correct. Acrylic, as opposed to oil, has what as its base? Yes, Lindsay.
Water.
Water is right for 10 points. Bart Starr is famous for playing which professional sport? I love dancing to this music. It's football. Next question. What is 5% of $6? Yes, Hassan.
30 cents?
30 cents is correct for 10. For what reason was Galileo tried for heresy? Yes, Jonathan.
He thought the sun was the center of the universe.
He said again?
He thought the sun was the center of the universe.
He thought the sun was?
The center of the universe, and that the earth revolved around the sun.
Your Honor? That is correct. All right, 10 points. Of course, I knew that, but the way it's written, what can I tell you? Lignite is a stage in the Earth's production of what important fuel? Yes, Anton.
Is it petroleum?
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You can steal this MA. Lignite is a stage in the Earth's production of what important fuel?
Coal.
That is right for 10 points. What kind of dance did John Travolta popularize in the movie? Yes, Robert.
Disco.
Disco. Name the female lead singer of No Doubt, the band from... Yes,
Gwen
Hassan.
Stefani.
That is correct. Not to be confused with John Travolta. How many half-inch cubes are in a 1-inch cube? Daniel.
4.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Can you tell us, and steal the points, how many half-inch cubes are in a 1-inch cube?
We're going to go with 8.
That is correct. Carlmont gets the 10. Which band made the 1960s album called Sgt. Pepper's? Yes,
Beatles.
Hassan. Thank you for knowing that. And the points, the round is over, and oh my gosh, we're very close. Carlmont's 110, Menlo Atherton 120. Congratulations. We'll move on to our second round in just a moment, but first, I'm going to give you yet another chance to see this wonderful video about Carlmont High School. Well, Anton, you know, I talked to you earlier. You're not sure what you're going to do beyond going to Berkeley and majoring in poli-sci, what will happen after that. So let's stick with the past. What are some of the memories that you'll take with you from Carlmont that you'll cherish? You're a cherishing kind of guy, aren't you, Anton?
Yeah, very cherishing. Just like basically going out with people and having fun. It's all haze.
All your friends.
Yeah.
The haze of joy.
Joy, yeah.
We're going to move on, and thank you, Anton. Let's play the face-off round. Well, mystery is like a big haze in some ways, and here we have two history buffs who are going to square off against each other. Don't butt heads, gentlemen. Just answer the questions correctly. For each question you answer, you can earn 20 points. I'll go back and forth, one after the other, give each of you your own set of questions, and I wish you both very good luck. We're going to start with Carlmont because you're just a little bit behind. Anton, here's your first question. Good luck. In which state is the first presidential primary held?
Pennsylvania?
No, I'm sorry, it's New Hampshire. Daniel, who shot President Reagan in 1981?
John Hinckley Jr.
John Hinckley is correct. The 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution that was ratified in August of 1920 granted what right?
Women's suffrage?
That is correct, women's suffrage. Which U.S. Secretary of State created the European Recovery Plan that largely funded Europe's rebuilding effort after World War II?
Marshall.
That is right, Marshall. Who was the U.S. president on the date of the U.S. bicentennial?
Carter?
No, I'm sorry, it was Gerald Ford. Daniel, his marriage to a commoner, an American divorcee, led to whose abdication of the British throne?
King Edward the 7th.
Judge? Okay, King Edward, all right, give him a hand. Name the first steam-powered boat ever to cross the Atlantic.
The Atlantic boat?
No, it was the Savannah. Grown from a particular type of mold and used to treat bacterial infections, which medical breakthrough was featured on the cover of Time magazine in 1944?
Penicillin.
That is right. Name the wall that marked the northernmost boundary of the Roman Empire.
Hadrian's Wall?
That is correct for 20. Al Capone was finally arrested in 1931 and charged with what crime?
Tax evasion.
That is right for 20 points. Which title did Kenneth Starr hold for his investigations of President Clinton?
Special prosecutor?
I'm sorry, it was, he said special prosecutor. It was independent prosecutor. Who wrote Leviathan, an important treatise on political philosophy which addresses the nature of rulership?
Hobbes.
That is right for 20 points. Who was leader of the suffrage movement who later would appear on U.S. dollar coins?
Susan B. Anthony?
That is right for 20 points. A German statesman known as the Iron Chancellor, he was one of the most powerful political leaders in Germany during most of the second half of the 19th century. Name him.
Otto von Bismarck.
That is right for 20 points. According to the biblical story of the apocalypse, how many horsemen are there?
4.
4 is right for 20 points. The 23rd Amendment to U.S. Constitution gives which district 3 electoral votes?
The District of Columbia.
That is correct. What country was formed on May 14th, 1948?
Israel?
Israel is right for 20 points. Where was Napoleon exiled after his defeat at Waterloo?
St. Helena.
That is correct for 20 points. Well, that signals the end of the round, and let's look at the score. Carlmont at 210, Menlo Atherton at 300. Excellent, gentlemen. Everything can change in our final round, but first, let's remember what we saw before about Menlo Atherton High School.
Menlo Atherton High School is centered in the heart of Silicon Valley. Amid this economically prosperous region is a high school that transcends all economic, cultural, and racial barriers. With nearly 2,000 students encompassing over 100 nationalities, MA is one of the most diverse student bodies in the entire United States. However, the beauty of MA lies in the wealth of opportunities it provides. Students are encouraged to participate in the arts, such as music, where we have one of the most renowned jazz bands in the Bay Area. MA offers a plethora of athletic opportunities, and the school has achieved great success in sports through the years. Students have a tremendous amount of school spirit, which presents itself at sporting events, pep rallies, and the annual Spirit Week parade. Menlo Atherton is most importantly a center for intellectual learning in an environment that promotes excellence in education. Menlo Atherton High School is a California distinguished school and in so many areas established itself as an outstanding public high school.
Well, Lindsay, Anton's going to Berkeley and you're going to Stanford, so we've got natural enemies right there. But I will ignore that, although I was a bear myself. Anyway, Lindsay, no one's ganging up on you. Tell me what you're going to take with you when you go to Stanford about Menlo Atherton. What do you remember most?
I don't know. I think MA has given me a really good base for just doing what I want in life. It's given me a lot of educational opportunities, obviously. The classes I've taken over the past 4 years have been excellent, and a lot of the teachers and staff is
Well, I wish you luck to you with the red and white, okay?
Thank you.
Let's play the collaboration round. Okay, I'm not going to make this tense at all. There's an awful lot at stake here, kids. I have 2 sets of questions. The 20-point questions are fair to middling. The 40-point questions are harder. I'm going to start with Carlmont, and I'm going to be speaking to the captains only here. So Robert, Lindsay, you'll represent your teams, but you may collaborate. Choose a point value. I'll read the question. You'll have 10 seconds to talk it over. If you give me the right answer, you get the points. If not, the other team could steal it. Robert, how do you want to start?
40.
40. Which Victorian poet wrote, "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways"? Robert, your answer?
Browning.
Browning is correct for 40 points. Lindsay.
We'll take a 40-point question.
Okay. Name the horrific virus that devastated Zaire in 1995.
Sure? Yeah. Okay.
The Ebola virus?
That is right for 40 points. Robert.
40.
Which chemical element is named after a U.S. state?
California.
Yes, it is for 40 points. Lindsay.
40.
40. What first Grand Slam event did Andre Agassi win? And your answer?
The Wimbledon?
The Wimbledon is correct. My apologies to Andre Agassi for mispronouncing his name. Robert.
40.
40. The critical point on a curve in which that curve changes from being a concave to convex or vice versa is called what type of point?
The point of inflection.
That is correct for 40 points. Lindsay. 40. Who wrote the famous 19th century essay titled Civil Disobedience? And your answer, Lindsay?
Martin Luther King Jr.?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. I'll ask you, Carlmont, you can steal the points. Who wrote the famous 19th century essay titled Civil Disobedience?
Wait, didn't he say 1970?
No, 18th century.
Thoreau.
Thoreau is correct for 40 points. And Robert, it's your turn.
40.
40. Jean Valjean is a character in which French novel?
Les Miserables.
That is right for 40 points. Let's look at the score. The score is Carlmont has 470, Menlo 410. Get those numbers right, for God's sake. Carlmont 410, Menlo Atherton 380. It is your turn.
40 points?
40 points. What year did the Panama Canal open?
1914. 1914.
1914?
Listen to Daniel. 40 points. Robert. 40 points. In which organ is the fovea centralis found?
Yeah. I'll say the brain.
And my apologies to the fovea centralis if I've mispronounced its name. Your answer?
The brain.
The brain.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You can steal it, M.A., if you can tell me in which organ the fovea centralis is found.
The heart?
No, it's the eye. But it is your turn, Lindsay.
40 points?
40 points. Name the Major League Baseball and National Hockey League teams that play in Montreal.
Expos and somebody else. No.
Is it the Red Wings?
And your answer?
The Montreal Expos and the Montreal Red Wings?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Carlmont, you can steal it. If you could tell me the baseball and hockey teams that play in Montreal for the national.
Best answer we got.
Your answer?
The Expos and the Canucks.
No. I think they'd probably be very upset with that. It's the Expos and the Canadians.
Oh.
They get touchy
Same
there.
thing.
But Robert, it's your turn.
40 points.
40 points. How much weather stripping will you need to go around a window that is 6 7/8 feet long and 2 1/4 feet wide?
6, 2, 9, 1/1.
And your answer?
9 1/8.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. How much weather stripping will you need to go around a window that is 6 7/8 feet long and 2 1/4 feet wide? Your answer?
18 1/4.
That is correct for 40 points. And Lizzie, it's your turn.
40 points, please.
40 points. Name the novel about the stockyards in Chicago that brought Upton Sinclair national recognition.
The jungle. The jungle.
The Jungle.
That is right for 40 points. Robert.
40 points.
Henry Kissinger was the Secretary of State during 2 U.S. presidencies. Name both.
Johnson? No,
Nixon and Ford.
That is right for 40 points. M.A.
40.
40. What does a YouTube manometer measure? Say that 7 times fast, people. What does a YouTube manometer measure?
I think it's pressure. Air pressure.
Pressure.
That is correct. It is pressure. Robert.
40.
Name the German composer of the operas commonly known as the Ring Cycle and Tristan and Isolde.
Wagner.
Wagner is right for 40. Well, that signal says the end of the game is here with Carlmont at 490, but Menlo Atherton with 540 will go into the finals. Well, you both played very well, and you've played well all the way through, and I want to congratulate you gentlemen from Carlmont for doing such an excellent job on all 3 games. Thank you. You're going to come back next week, MA, and play San Mateo for a chance at a trip to Europe.
Great.
Given to us by our friends at EF Educational Tours, and of course the wonderful trophy, and all kinds of good stuff. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Rest up till then, and thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week on the really big show at Peninsula Quiz Kids. Bye-bye.
The grand prize, a trip to London, Paris, and Rome, is provided courtesy of EF Educational Tours of Santa Barbara. The producers of Peninsula Quiz Kids thank the following for their support: Pacific Bell, Independent Newspaper Group, Jamba Juice Peninsula, Century Theaters, Target, Sam Trans, Festive Productions Burlingame, Silver Terrace Nursery, AEIS Ronald Bland, www.channelx.com, and Expression Center for New Media.